Hello, this is Dr. Dave Maslach talking to you about reciprocity.com. The E is written with a 3, and in this particular video, I wanted to actually talk to you about problems encountered during research. This is part of my thesis help series that I'm putting out. So I'm a professor of innovation strategy and entrepreneurship. And what I'm trying to do with the thesis help series is to provide advice for people that are doing research. And so it might be people that are going into graduate school, maybe a research master's degree, going into a PhD, a doctorate, and if you're professors and things like that find this kind of interesting. It's just my own take on navigating some of the things that we don't talk about in sort of research and within the process. It's all the kind of the stuff that I wish I would have known going forward. And I just thought it was really helpful to do that, right? So it's really applicable for people that are doing research in business schools or in the social sciences. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, just stay tuned. So what are the problems encountered during research that I normally feel? So, I've been doing research for 17 years now. I started doing this in my undergrad as an undergraduate research assistant, which was really cool and fun. And I've been doing this for a long, long time. And the first problem that most people sort of would encounter with doing research is just really uncertainty about the particular research question or the problem that you're looking at. Oftentimes, we haven't got a clue what we're looking at, and we have kind of a vague idea of what we're trying to do, and then what we have to do is start digging deeper and getting really into what we're trying to do before you sort of have a deeper understanding of what we're trying to do. And this is true for anybody at any stage within the research process, and you have to just get comfortable with that sort of uncertainty about that particular topic, right? So even when you are done a paper, and even when you've done a tremendous amount of research and you've done it for years, you still feel very uncertain about what exactly am I trying to look at? Some people might say that they have a very specific idea of what they're trying to look at, but in general, most of us are still trying to grasp on the particular phenomenon that we're looking at. And that's just part of research, right? I mean, that's the whole thing behind research. If it was known and if we're very certain about what we're trying to do, then it wouldn't be research, right? It would be just a fact. What you're trying to do is discover things that are unknown, and you're trying to go through and dig deep and get clarity in what you're trying to do. So with any paper, just know at the beginning you're going to be really murky, and then you're going to get some resolution on this murkiness, and you're going to get a little bit smarter on that particular topic, and then you're going to get you're going to get murky again of I just don't know, that doesn't make sense. And you just keep going through these iterations of where you're understanding with a greater depth and richness of the particular phenomenon that you're looking at, and it continues to grow and it continues to develop until you have a better understanding. Still not a perfect understanding in any sort of way, but you get better and better as you go and keep moving at both the paper and in terms of your research trajectory as well. The other thing, and this kind of relates to this particular topic, is just not knowing what to read and what to do next. And that is totally normal. And not knowing what to do and what to sort of read, because you just think that, there's just so much to do. I don't know what to do. So the first thing is just try to read as specifically to the particular thing that you're trying to do as much as possible. I like to stick to the best journals in my field, so you could do the same thing and sort of narrow it down to the best journals. You could probably get help from somebody else and start asking you what are the best journals for your field. It sort of limits you. There's a screening process to get into those journals. It's hard to get into those journals. So the research tends to be a little bit better, and because we have time constraints, then sort of narrows what we look at, right? And it makes your life easier. But after a while, you're going to be sort of tapped out in what you've done and did with your literature review and sort of dug down as deep as you can. Then what I do is I'll just ask people and have conversations about the particular topic. And it doesn't have to be forced in any sort of way, but it's just okay, what are you working on? Well, I'm doing this, that, and the other thing. And then some people will throw out ideas, and then you're oh, I never thought about that. I can work on that particular thing. And then the final stage, what you end up doing, and it's really, really iterative, right? The final stage is you hand it to a conference or you hand it to a journal, and you see what the reviewers say. If they suggest a bunch of literature or a different area, which they always do, and they're always going to push you in a different direction, take them up on it and start doing some reading that particular area. You're going to really get a greater depth of what you're trying to do, and it's happened to me every single time. I'm still pretty new at this game, but it's happened to me every single time when I've done that. The third thing that and lots of people just don't talk about it, but I think it's incredibly important for most people, and it's the reason why a lot of people just exit and they don't do research anymore, is sort of the financial problems that they encounter during research. I think this is very, very common, and it's really tough to deal with, particularly when you're a PhD student or a graduate student. You just don't have a lot of money. In fact, you're probably underpaid for the skills that you have. I know you're underpaid for the skills that you have, but it's just the structure of sort of graduate school at this time. It's not going to change in any sort of, it's not going to change in any near future, but you're underpaid for how talented you are, dramatically underpaid for how talented you are, and so you have to navigate that particular issue. I would recommend doing financial planning and thinking about financial planning. Big fan of Dave Ramsey. Anybody that's interested in that kind of stuff, I could put a link. The other thing is, you just really be conservative as much as you possibly can and sort of limit your budget and think about what you're trying to do so that you can continue on. The sort of last advice that I've learned is sometimes you just have to jump off the ship and you just go and figure it out as you go, right? So if you are truly into research, you're going to feel like you have no money at any point in time, but you just have to jump and do that particular topic and go into it and then figure out how to get the financial resources around to build going forward the platform or the thing that you want to do, right? So you jump into it. You have to sort of research and get a good idea of what you're trying to do. And after a couple of years, you start looking for funding sources, and those funding sources appear, but you can't do that until you actually jump into it and go into that sort of risky, murky area, because you're just not going to know. A, you're not going to know where those funding sources are. B, you're not going to look serious and you're not going to know what the literature is. So when you do apply for anything or you go through, I don't apply to too many grants because in a college of business, we typically don't have to, and it's a privilege to be in that sort of situation. And I know in a lot of fields, you have to build up credibility, and that's just kind of that's the sociology of science, right? You have to build up credibility and have a good understanding before you can look credible, before anybody's going to give you money. Any sort of granting agency is going to give you money, and that's why it's so incredibly hard to get money at the beginning. You just have to build that credibility to move forward and keep plowing forward through that sort of that murky area that's really miserable, but you still have to keep doing that and moving forward. And that's the only way that I've seen people actually make progress with the stuff that they're doing. The fourth thing is sort of leadership issues that happen, or team dynamic issues that happen during the research process. And you do work in teams, and leadership does matter to a huge degree in terms of how you enjoy the process. As well as a sort of emotional things that you feel along the way. And, the more that you can reduce those sort of emotional things and you feel that you're supported and all that kind of stuff, the more that you're likely to continue on, unless you're really weird. And you can sort of push through these sort of emotional ups and downs that happen. But you really do need a good team. You really need good leadership, and you have to think about that and how to navigate that and push people forward so that they can actually get their work done, both at the sort of college level, the university level, and as well as sort of immediately around you, the co-authors and the people that you're working with. It really does matter to think about that sort of leadership stuff. So it's really critical to think about that. And if there's any issues, don't wait too long to address them. Just address them right away. That's really good advice. And it's stuff that I wish I would sort of do moving forward a lot more. Whenever I do that, it sort of saves me going forward. So that's all I want to talk about. These are some problems that you do sort of feel along the way. And when you're doing research, it's really important sort of problems that you encounter during research. So if you like this video, please do watch the other thesis help videos. It does help to get the word out, and make sure you do give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the YouTube channel. All right, take care and have oh, by the way, the whole reciprocity project, I forgot, is all about helping graduate students and helping people that are interested in becoming a better academic writer in some sort of way. That's why I built the platform, was to help me. But then I thought it would be really applicable for other people in sort of graduate school and stuff like that can get access to that and use the whole reciprocity platform. And if it ever starts to make money, which it's currently not at all, then, I'd love to be able to give some of it away in terms of, scholarships and stuff like that for people that are interested in behavioral science in graduate school. So that's it. Take care and have a wonderful day.